Thanksgiving didn't begin with pilgrims and pie, at least not the way we picture it. Hi, I'm Papa G, carving through the myths to find out what this day was really meant to be. The famous 1621 gathering between the English pilgrims and the Wampanoag did happen, but it wasn't called Thanksgiving, and it wasn't meant to launch a holiday. There was no pumpkin pie, no sweet potatoes with marshmallows, and no football. And here's the twist. In the 1600s, a day of Thanksgiving usually meant a solemn day of fasting and prayer, not feasting. So the earliest American Thanksgivings were quiet, contemplative, and often spent on an empty stomach. Through the early republic, Thanksgiving days were declared occasionally after military victories, good harvests, or moments of national relief. In 1789, George Washington proclaimed a national day of Thanksgiving for the new Constitution. John Adams and James Madison followed with their own occasional proclamations, but none of these established an annual holiday. It wasn't until Abraham Lincoln, in the thick of the Civil War, that Thanksgiving became a yearly national tradition. In 1863, he proclaimed a day of thanks on the last Thursday of November, inviting the nation to pause and reflect, even as the country tore itself apart. His proclamation didn't define the last Thursday as a fixed week number. Some years it was the fourth Thursday, other years it was the fifth. And that brings us to the strangest chapter of all, Franksgiving. In 1939, Thanksgiving was set to fall on November 30th, extremely late in the month. Retailers panicked, arguing that such a short Christmas shopping season would hurt Depression-era sales. So Franklin D. Roosevelt moved Thanksgiving 1 week earlier to the second to last Thursday of November. Chaos followed. Half the states adopted Roosevelt's new date. Half refused, sticking with the traditional last Thursday. Texas celebrated both days because, of course, Texas celebrated both days. Schools were confused. Football schedules broke. Families disagreed, and newspapers mocked the whole thing as Franksgiving. After 2 years of national headache, Congress stepped in. In 1941, it officially set Thanksgiving on the fourth Thursday of November, where it remains today. Not the last Thursday, not Roosevelt's earlier Thursday, but a compromise right in between them. So what's the heart of Thanksgiving? Not a perfect pilgrim story, not a fixed menu, not even a fixed date at first. It's a reminder, feast or fast, to stop, breathe, and practice gratitude. Thanksgiving began as a fast, became a feast, and maybe at its best, it's both.